This is something that has been discussed actually for decades in Cuyahoga County, and we've been discussing it since we came into office. I'm here with Councilman Mike Gallagher, who has been particularly a leader on council about these issues. And here's what the challenge was. We had over 40 separate locations and entities who were answering 911 calls in Cuyahoga County. The national suggested average, by the way, for a county of over 1 million people, slightly over 1 million people, which is what we are, is around between 5 and 10. So we were at 4 times that amount. The state suggested average was 4. And so we, again, with a lot of leadership from Councilman Gallagher and others, we said, how do we really make this happen? We have too many people in too many places with too much outdated equipment dealing with all these calls, and it just doesn't make any sense. It's not the best way to save lives, and it's also not the best way to save money. So what we wanted to do is really 2 things, and we're going to be announcing those today. I have in my hands here our 911 consolidation plan. This is the work product, the end result of a lot of hard work from people here at the county, and in partnership with a lot of the folks that you see here represented from both law enforcement across the county and some of our municipalities. So we have been working with our 911 planning committee members. Norberto Colon from my administration chairs that, but also Mayor DeGeeter from Parma, Martin Flask, the public safety director from the city of Cleveland, Mayor Cicero from the city of Lyndhurst, and Sherry Lippis, who happens to be here today. She's a trustee at Olmsted Township. We've also been working with our 911 Technical Advisory Committee members, Chief Zarity from Gates Mills, but also a number of other individuals, some of whom are here, including our own sheriff from law enforcement, try to make sure that all this works as seamlessly as possible. So what you see here represented in this map is what is our vision for the future of 911 in Cuyahoga County. And what you see is, instead of 45 separate locations where calls are answered, you see 4. It is not enough to just outline, here's where we'd like to be. What the county's been trying to do on all of these consolidation and regionalization efforts is not just be preaching to the choir, but also giving some subsidies and some encouragement and some financial support for that. So the other part that we're announcing today is a 911 shared services fund, which we are going to start funding out of the county, and we are going to have legislation that's going to be presented, and Councilman Gallagher has been a leader on this on council, but the whole council will get to consider that, of approximately $1.5 million to start this whole process. Now, if a community doesn't want to participate in these things, we cannot force them. But what we want to do is make a very attractive proposition to them, that first of all, they can save money because these services can be consolidated and the whole burden will not fall upon the municipality. And secondly, when you have 45 separate centers, you're also not going to have up-to-date equipment. You're not going to have cutting-edge, state-of-the-art equipment. And we're going to start subsidizing that in a way that the county never has before. And that's what this fund is going to help do. So individual mayors and township trustees and council members are going to be able to say they're going to get a superior product, it's going to save lives, and it's also going to save the community's money. At this time, I want to turn it over to Councilman Mike Gallagher, who's been an integral part of this whole initiative, to say a few words about this whole process. Michael?
Thank you, Mr. Executive. To start out, I'd like to thank the chiefs of, especially in the fire service here in Cuyahoga County. When we first got elected, one of the important things that we heard going throughout the county and during our elections was consolidating services and making things better and cheaper as we want, but the word better being underscored, and hopefully saving money down the road. I'd like to thank Mr. Colon and his team, Paula Young and Ms. Proper, for all their help. This will be coming to council again. We've been on the bottom, kind of helping move this through a little bit. We're going to be more involved now that we've identified the dollars, and certainly we're going to be looking and scrutinizing as we go further to make this the best, and at least the best that we can make right now for the citizens of Cuyahoga County. I'd like to thank the mayors and the managers and the trustees of the county for their patience. It's always been difficult, as I've found going throughout the county, is getting that support and getting the mayors and the councils and the trustees to understand that it's a new day here in Cuyahoga County, and we're here to help them and not ignore them. And that's been a recurring theme that I've found as we've moved forward. We're going to be here to help them as best we can, and I hope this is the beginning of many other consolidations throughout the county. And the last thing I'd like to leave with you is, as my committee and I were going throughout the county a year ago, what we found were the fire chiefs in Cuyahoga County were foremost and in the front on this. And one, as I was walking out of one of the meetings, he grabbed me and he said, "Mike, just don't let this go. Keep pushing." We kept pushing, the administration kept pushing. This is the beginning of something good, I hope, to come, and I look forward to working with the chiefs, police chiefs and fire, the city of Cleveland, and the mayors, managers, council presidents and council people, and the township trustees to move this forward and make this a product that we can all enjoy and be proud of. Thank you.
Just follow up on everything that that Councilman Gallagher said. When the new administration, the council members and myself took office, and we would talk about regionalism and shared services, this was really the no-brainer in the whole kind of spectrum of what we could do regionally. This was the one that really needed to be done. This was the one that had been talked about for decades, and we just never gotten the job done. And I just want to stress, and when you see this, and you all get it as a PDF or as a hard copy if you need it. This isn't just a study where we're suggesting some things. There is a very specific timeline that we're putting money behind. So this isn't just talk, we are putting real dollars behind it. But there are a number of deliverables that are mentioned on a schedule of how this is going to happen over the next 10 years. Some of them are happening already. So the hardware upgrade to some of the current 911 systems, that's already happening. Some of the mergers have already happened kind of spontaneously between some of the communities. We had 48 PSAPs 6 months ago. Now we're down to 45. What the city of Cleveland is doing, that's already been approved. It's going to be implemented over the next year or so. And we're going to keep on moving along. We're going to have a new county emergency operations center. We're going through a whole process to identify the locations of that emergency operations center. You're going to see that happening in the next year or so. And then the last stages will be the 3 suburban locations that are finally built out and identified, and there'll be a very open process and dialogue. And just to echo again what Councilman Gallagher said, this is a process that it wouldn't work if we didn't have the partnership of law enforcement from both police and fire and EMS, and it doesn't force this on any community. If community likes their current system and they want to pay a lot of money for it and have a system that doesn't receive the kind of funding that we're talking about, they have the right to do so. But they're going to be given an option that is more affordable and will also help keep their citizens safer. So we're proud of that.
The plan is aggressive, but we believe that it's realistic. Time frame is 10 years. We believe that some significant advancements and consolidations will happen well short of that 10 years.
When we started sitting down and collaborating our thoughts and efforts to this, we realized this was a county-wide problem that we needed to correct. Mr. Fitzgerald had the foresight to put the committee together, asked me to chair it for him. We have a cross-section of services from not only the police, law enforcement, the state patrol, fire services, EMS, dispatchers themselves, people that are the end users, all coming together and talking about this, really brainstorming until we realized what needed to be put in place. This is the foundation. So when you build a house, you don't build the roof first, you build the basement. Put a foundation, and as long as that's a good sturdy foundation, it'll service you for many years. So as this project goes forward, we'll continue to build on that foundation until we have a good working program.